Latest news according to Santa Tracker, Santa Claus himself is rerouting on an emergency delivery through Minnesota, his second pass through the state as of today, and he will be dropping off some pink slips that he forgot to deliver this morning. So, welcome to therapy. That was embarrassing. Once again, Minnesota Vikings deliver on national television the most pathetic, performance manageable way to lose a football game that you could like. I can't even put it into words. It is just so damn depressing how bad this football team is. It really is. Just to think about it, like there was 3 weeks ago there was people clamoring that this team was good enough to get into the playoffs and make some noise. Like you got to stop believing. I understand, like, as a fan, that the way that you want to approach this is that you are ride and die with your team, no matter what, win or lose, you bleed purple, all this other, empty platitude nonsense. There is nothing wrong with being a fan of a team and also accepting reality, which I accepted after the Falcons game, that this team is not good. Mike Zimmer needs to be fired. Kirk Cousins is not the quarterback that is going to win you a Super Bowl in this town. And we need big time systemic change from the top down in order to retool, rebuild, and restart this franchise, because with the current formula stuck in the 1990s, it is not going to win anything other than a meaningless first round playoff game anytime soon, as is demonstrated over the past 3 to 4 years. So I don't think everything is, doom and gloom after today. I mean, let's give thanks to Alvin Kamara and the Saints for embarrassing us on national television, because what this does is that this starts the Mike Zimmer clock right now instead of next week after Detroit. The Detroit game is probably going to be a win unless this team completely gives up on him, which it may very well. We don't know yet. Of course, we are throwing out a defense that is made up of players who will probably not be on rosters at the start of next season and will definitely not be with this team. But this starts the clock. So the good news is, the silver lining is that even in a loss, this is what we need to happen. This is how it needs to go. This is what should have been happening since the bye week. We came out of the bye week in a position to secure a high draft pick. And I know people are going to be like, oh, you're one of those people that wants to tank. No, I'm not one of those people that wants to tank. I want to win games. But a 7-9, 6-10 season, which is what we're about to have, is the most pointless season you can have in the NFL. You are either a 10-win team or more, and you're going to the playoffs every year, or you're a bad team with 5 or less wins, and you're getting really good draft picks that could turn into something you don't know what you could wind up with. So we're stuck in the middle, merry-go-round of mediocrity once again. And it's not about embracing tanks. It is not about intentionally losing. It is about seeing the writing on the wall that after 7 years of the Mike Zimmer era, that this is coming to an end. And it's either going to happen now, or we're going to grind out another 2 or 3 pointless seasons of this and wonder what could have been if we would have done something sooner and changed, had a change of the guard as quick as we could have. And, my hope is that we don't look back on this moment in 3 or 4 years and been like, that should have been the point where we fired Zimmer, not in 2023. That is sort of the oasis of this. So, yeah. So let's just go with the game, and then we'll go with bigger picture. So, once again, it's I feel like I'm kind of a broken record in these videos. Post game, it's the same problems over and over again. The play calling early on is too conservative. The defense is very bad. The pass rush is complete horseshit. Our defensive line is the worst in the league. Let's just stop trying to sugarcoat it. It's the worst. Anthony Harris, man, what a business decision game he had tonight. Like just a clinic of how not to tackle in the game of football. He's playing on the franchise tag. He's trying to probably get a contract somewhere else. And right now, it just looks like he's trying not to get injured, or if the scheme has changed so much where he's being forced to help young corners, protect them in this defense, that it's completely thrown him off his game this year. I'm incorrect. I've been saying for weeks that we have one of the best safety tandems in the league. That's no longer true. Anthony Harris is dead weight, and I can't wait to see him walk in free agency and somebody else can make the mistake of signing him as a redemption project. And, maybe he turns out to be an Xavier Rhodes, type of player who has a better season once he changes scenery. But for us, he's no longer useful, and that was just a sloppy, useless performance out of him. Not having Eric Kendricks for another week is bad, but at the same time, if you're a defensive guru who is going to open the season boasting that you've never had a bad defense, and then you give up a pathetic 55 points and a record tying 6 rushing touchdowns to one running back, 7 total if you count Taysom Hill. It's bad, and I know the Saints have wanted to have revenge on us for a number of years, and I had set up leading up to this game that I pointed to this game on the calendar at the beginning of the season that this was going to be a revenge game for them, and it turned out to be true. So I'm not surprised that they lost. I'm not surprised that we lost. Let's put it that way. I'm not surprised that we lost the game. I'm just surprised that we find newer and more embarrassing ways to lose. So I will never be upset at losing games, right? Good teams lose games. You look at the Steelers, they've lost 3 in a row. You look at the Chiefs, they've lost 1 this year. The Packers have lost games. The Saints have lost games. Good teams lose games, but they don't lose games like this. They don't beat up on bad teams, give false hope, and then when they finally play teams with winning records, they get absolutely slaughtered. So it is what it is. This team is bad, and we need to start accepting that reality. So that's the game. Not much really else to say other than the end of the first half with that clock management is just another issue that Mike Zimmer possesses in his giant pocket of issues that we need to address, and he needs to go. He needs to be fired. I will put a link in the description to the Fire Mike Zimmer video that I made earlier in the season after the Falcons game. You can all enjoy that. That is my, case study for firing Mike Zimmer. Let me know what you think of that video. And it just needs to happen. It's just we're not going to win playing 1995 style football. It's not going to work in this era. So, and the only other thing with the offense is the play calling. Once again, running the ball on 2nd and short. A handoff to Dalvin Cook when it's 1st and 20. You're down 11 points with 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. There's just so much conservative play calling and offensive philosophy until it's too late, and it's just bonkers. And then at the end of the game, when you need a touchdown, you march down the field, you're down by however many points it was at that time. I think it was 18 or so. And you get 4 tries from the 1-yard line, and you don't have Dalvin Cook out there. So that's kind of weird. You pay all this money for Dalvin Cook, who is a freight train, has, the most rushing touchdowns of any running back this season. And just inexplicable coaching decisions all around. I don't understand any of it. So, big picture now. Season is officially over. We're done. The Detroit Lions game is meaningless. We might as well just forfeit that and save ourselves the embarrassment, because I have this suspicious feeling that we're going to lose to them. I don't know why, but it might happen. We'll see how they do this week. Draft. It would be good to lose the game to the Lions to get us secure us a higher draft pick for sure. To get us within range of a Zach Wilson or Trey Lance. I'm done with Kirk Cousins. Everybody else should be. He's clearly not the type of guy that is going to be able to overcome, shortcomings on the offensive line. It's going to take too many years to build a solid offensive line. I'm tired of the excuses that he needs a solid 5-star, tackle or guard at every position. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to take too long to build an offensive line that even if we do that, Mike Zimmer, Rick Spielman, and Kirk Cousins will be long gone by the time that ever happens. So we need a rookie quarterback who is on a contract that is affordable, where we can afford to pay other players at other positions. As far as the defense, Mike Zimmer on KFan tonight in his post-game interview finally admitted that this is the worst defense he's ever had, and that he was begging for the players that we don't have right now to come back. Anthony Barr, Danielle Hunter, Eric Kendricks, mentioned them all by name. Michael Pierce even threw in there. I'm tired of that excuse, because I don't understand why people think that Michael Pierce is some kind of savior on the interior. I don't get it. Maybe he's an upgrade. Yeah, sure. Anybody would be an upgrade over Jaleel Johnson and Shamar Stephen. But at the same time, I've never seen Michael Pierce do anything extraordinary that made me say, wow, I'd really like to have him on my team. He's the missing link. Danielle Hunter, we are entering a phase where we have a serious decision to make, because he wants to be the highest paid edge rusher in the league coming off of neck surgery. That's a very, gray area that I don't know if they want to be able to do that. I don't know if we can afford that. We might end up trading him for a first-round pick or something, or, God forbid, something worse if Rick fumbles the deal. So, people point to next year we're going to be better. We've got a lot to look forward to. The defensive players are going to come back. Anthony Barr's contract is terrible. He's not worth that money. Michael Pierce is not the savior that people are making him out to be. And there's a 50-50 shot that Danielle Hunter will be off this roster because of his contract demands coming off neck surgery next year. So, guys, this is it. This team would benefit if the goal is to win a Super Bowl. This team would much more benefit gutting this now, while we have somewhat under control before we enter into more ridiculous overpaid contracts and start over, because we're not winning with this formula. We haven't won. The Kirk Cousins has been here for 3 years, and we've missed the playoffs 2 out of the 3. He's been in the league for 9 years, and I think we saw him peak in 2019. I don't think it gets any better than that. He needs too much around him to be good, and it's stuff that we can't afford and stuff that's going to take too long to do. Mike Zimmer has proved that even with a top 10 defense every year, he can't win big games. He got a chance to build his big, amazing, strong, really good defense. We had it for a couple of years. We won nothing with it. Now he's starting completely over from scratch. We're going to wait another 4 or 5 years to build another defense and just to have the same problems where we can't afford players at critical positions like offensive line. Are you kidding me? Why do we want to do this again? People who are pounding the table for this guy to keep his job just blow my mind. I don't understand it at all. So yeah, that's basically where we are with this after the Saints. So congratulations to them on helping us start the clock on Mike Zimmer's hot seat earlier than it probably would have had we won. So yeah, that's it. Season's over. Going forward, we're going to do the week for the Lions for week 17. That'll all be normal videos. And then we're going into heavy draft mode. This is going to be a heavy draft channel. So if you're into the NFL draft, stick around because we've got player profiles coming up. We've got a lot of ground to cover because I haven't done a player profile since I did the Quiddy Pay video, and that was months ago. So going to be a lot of talk about the NFL draft for the next 6 or 7 months, however long that takes. And yeah, it's going to be good. So, all right. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Let me know if you think Mike Zimmer should be fired. And I will feature your comments tomorrow on the day after New Orleans. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one.